Alright, hello everybody. We're nearing the end of the year here in 2022. Could be around December 29th here. And I'm inside the garage game room. And today we're going to be videotaping a whole bunch of parts that I accumulated over 30 plus years in the hobby. And give everybody an idea on when you do all your restorations yourself, you have to have a large quantity of parts for standby repairs and things of that nature. So, as you can see, these boxes here, which are cardboard bins that I've labeled in black marker and red marker, these were across the top of this row here, above these other ones, these other white cardboard bins. They were up here in this top shelf here, and I brought them down onto the workbench here for everyone to see. We're not going to spend too much time going through the boxes, but I want you to get a good idea on what has taken place here in 30 plus years of restoring EM pinball machines. As you can see, this is a metal Gottlieb used original parts, flipper rods, stuff of that nature. Here's some end caps that are worn, but these end caps can be rechromed. I have some shooter lane parts and an original meter with 104,000 plays. And as you can see, we have all size shooter rods. There's a long skinny one. It's probably from an old wood rail. Here's another big one. My God, that one is huge. Got to be over 12 inches, as you can see. But springs, old stuff. We have plenty of these ball lane metal chrome pieces that I've saved over the years. They're original, and they're in decent shape. There's maybe 4 or 5 in there. Here's a bell assembly or a knocker assembly. Brass for a 60s Gottlieb, and a whole bunch of other stuff in here. Some push rods for a coin, with a coin return on the front door. And here's a kicker, an out-hole kicker assembly. And I got an old puck here from a bowler. My God, it's got to be from a 50s bowler. And some other flipper parts here, original. So, move over to the next box, and you got the Gottlieb switch parts. This is, of course, from the coin assembly on an old 60s games that needs to be put in a bath to get the rust off of it. And here's more of the coin door. And here are a whole bunch of switches. I mean, there's not too much you don't have in here. Yep, so I've gone to this box many a times. Here's spin a card. They're labeled. Spin a card. I label everything. And that's the Gottlieb switch parts box. And then we move over to the Gottlieb pop bumper parts. These are just, here's an old assembly with a weird coil on it. Might be a wood rail. The whole pop bumper assemblies are in here. There's other coils in here. Everywhere assemblies. And some old, worn out. Well, this one's good, a marbleized pop bumper part that we could probably use, because the originals are the best. I try to use all the original stuff I can. Some drop targets that worn to the gills. This is the Gottlieb used plastic parts, you know, plastic posts, coin entry plates, stuff like that. And of course rollover This is an old original that's in beautiful condition, so when you need a red one, you have it. Here's a nice marbleized post from a Gottlieb, and you'd be surprised how nice and handy everything comes in. Flipper button assembly. Here's the coin. So yeah, plenty of stuff in here that's keeping on hand. This helped out many other people too in the hobby. A lot of people call me and I come up with the parts for them. This is my used bulbs and new bulbs, large cardboard bin. As you can see, we have 2014, we had the GE 455 flasher NOS bulbs. There's still quite a few in there. And I have all sizes. In this package here are the 1893, 755, 1891, 1816. Here's the bingo bulbs, 1815, 1813, 1464. These are all bulbs that you need to come up with during your restorations, or just for people that need stuff too. I don't know, I have a whole bunch of GE bulbs, NOS bulbs too. They're here for a reason. And inside, of course, are all used bulbs that quite a few good ones are in there. And they're the original GE bulbs and Westinghouse bulbs that last forever. So even some from Italy. I have packets here. Here's a 313 bulb. I don't even know what's back here. Continental Golden. But you get the idea. I have lots of bulbs on hand. And what you're hearing now is the heater going on here. Sorry for that. It's actually pretty cool here in New Jersey, December 29th. So we're going to move on. Hopefully that noise won't bother you. It'll be going off in a second. Use light socket Gottlieb. I mean, you need so many of these because some of the games are from the 60s. The sockets are notorious for not being holding up well and flickering and everything else. So there goes the heater's off, which is nice. I can speak clearly now, I hope, and it didn't bother too many people. But here we have about 350 NOS GE 47 bulbs. Yep, there's a whole big lineup of them here, which are great to have on hand. And we're going to move up over to the side here. There's more that came off the top shelf. And here we are. We're in the bingo used parts box here. As you can see, there's a tilt bobber. There's all kinds of, these are for the back box of the game. We have the shooter rod assembly part. And this goes around the front of the free play button on the front door. There's so many things. Here's a lock. Not a lock, yeah. This holds the back door open on the bingos, the big heavy doors, which is nice to have. And some springs and stuff in there. A little bingo. Oh, Turf King. I kept this probably because I had two Turf Kings. They came from our good friend Bill Dahl, who used to run the York show. Bill Dahl was the back in the 20 years ago, he ran the York show. He doesn't run it anymore. I actually bought out his warehouse, and he had two Turf Kings and around 16 other games that I put in a box truck and took home. That's a whole nother story. Okay, so here we have some more bingo parts. These are some new and used parts, and they are these are beautiful. These are NOS, hard to find. The lamppost plastic that goes over the bulbs on the playfield. They're gorgeous. I have quite a few really nice, not NOS, but used post light covers. And we have all styles from all of the years that they made bingos, which is beautiful to have this stuff when you're restoring a game. Okay, so here we also have some more light bulbs, miniature lamps, whatever you want to call them, and they're vintage from over the years of finding them in coin boxes in the games I apprehended through the years, which I did over 160 machines I pulled out of homes and places around here in New Jersey, Northeast Pennsylvania, and so on. So a lot of cool little old boxes, Westinghouse and Penn, and just cool, and they're filled. They are filled with NOS bulbs. All right, we move over here. Just some here Gottlieb rebound rubbers. Of a part door where the bottom is the front plate. Just come out. I don't know how coin return put it in the metal, and put got in there. I'm gonna years I the other box. We them in their parts. I kept these are over the case. I've replaced. Are good, so the new ones them in case I really needed them. Life left out. I put these on, but these over here have a lot of lip parts too. So we move parts. The got springs, posts, leap, and chrome like that. You see, and all good stuff like this is magic new stuff. Here is springs stuff. It's all different lengths and strength springs. Scare and back here, nice. And here we have such as some chrome posts and some other back springs for the poke rod, more barrels, shooters for the shooter, and other miscellaneous springs, which is really great to have. And we're going to lift up this guy here. This is the used pop bumper cap from Gottlieb. And I like the used one because sometimes you can ink them in and make them look new, just like this one. And so I have plenty like different styles, and people can they can make them look new. They got the way to do it. So some just need the number 2. And here's a really nice one, huh? Original. So I keep them because I like the original stuff that are really nice and new looking to be used on my games because I have all original games. Okay, so here's the new rollover guide plastic parts box. Bullseye targets are in here. I have all kinds of posts. Well, these are NOS posts from somebody, and a whole bunch of these colored plastic lenses that go over the Gottlieb games in the back, the 60s games that are in the top apron. There's 2 lights, a yellow and a red light on each left corner and the right corner, so there's a total of 4. I keep them on hand. And like I said, there's some bullseye targets. This goes to Eldorado, maybe. Eldorado white, I think. And here's some ball shooter plastics that come in quite handy because they really work well when you need them in a pinch. So here we have it. We got one more box there, and then we're going to go through the, hopefully we're going to make it. Yeah, we will. We're going to go through the other row up there. Here are pop bumper caps, skirts, bodies, new metal brackets, and so on that are in here, which I have all the different color skirts in case I need a skirt that chips or breaks. I can repair it. Got some baseball caps. Metal brackets are in here, some red. So a lot of stuff in 30 plus years to keep these games going and restore the games and make them play like factory new. And down here, of course, are all the tools you're going to need. I have 3 toolboxes of pinball tools. We're not going to have enough time today to go through them. Here's my little bucket that I keep on hand. And we're going to climb up here now and take a look at this here bottom row of parts. So this video is a really nice video on EM parts. And okay, so we can see up in here we got used Gottlieb pinball parts. Gottlieb. And as you can see, we have a beautiful score rail here in case we need it. And inside here are a tremendous amount of metal parts. I can't fan through them, but you can get the idea. It's overflowing with parts, and you need them parts. There's trick bank parts. Here's a whole bracket for a trick bank. I don't know if anybody's ever going to need that, but here's a BX relay, which shows up a lot. So, I mean, you have these parts. You can, there's a G relay. You can take the switches off and use them from broken switches or loose contacts. Really, really comes in handy. And we're at the pinball door locks, etc. use parts, and maybe I can just tip it down here. Here we go. So I have all these locks that I've managed to come across and take off games through the years. And there's tons of parts on there, and you always need a part for a door lock. So it's great that we have them on hand, and anybody that needs them, I have the parts for them and in a pinch for them. Especially the New Jersey guys, they just run down here and get what they want. So here we have the new pop bumper parts. Everything is listed there in red. They're all new, lots of sleeves, lots of pop bumper parts, plastic ring, mylar protectors. We even have some rods. We're going to show you some rods. Here's a metal rod that you can use because they break from the weld, and so on. And we're going to move over. We've got to move the chair though. So we're getting close. 12 minutes left. We're going to try to make this video the required amount. We seem to still be recording, so this is the new camera. It's very, very good. We're trying to figure out just how good it is. So I'm going to do a video and check the camera. So I thought, let's do the parts. Everybody will be interested in seeing you about the parts. So these are lead parts, loose flipper and target spread parts. There's everywhere. I have anything in you can think of. Some. There's a target piece. Here's a target pool where targets with all coils, all original coils, all triple. That's flip, and there's the off part. Look at this, winner flippers. Some awesome, man. I mean, be good. The old links out, but they may be read and then oblong or stretch. A lot of relays in here. And cool stuff. Here's a rollover button. Isn't that cool? People had a nice little rollover button there or two. So all we always are missing a parts for button. So I'm not sure if we're going to share again, and I'm not sure if I'm ever use them all some way because I used how for the year. So it'll help here some. So here's your. We may be able to pull out 60. Mostly a G part here. So this stuff, GG was making a part 63. So all the parts, something like 19, and you probably need GG. That in there. Everything anybody would need for a G is these parts. Give us a shout. GG. Gotta move the and then, fellas. Give me a shout. Up we go. Alright. So in the other parts department here, got parts. As you can see in red, it's self-explanatory what's in there. And then we'll give you a look. These ping pong balls are good for the flipper fair. No, flipper fair. Is it flipper fair? Yeah. Flipper clown, flipper fair. The back glass animation that the balls go around on the wedge head. So a lot of metal parts, legs, bolts, all kinds of stuff. You always need that. Here's even someone was looking for this, and I have it in here. I don't believe it. This is a scarce part here. This is a ball lift rod from the 60s. Now I know I have one because I went through all of this stuff with you guys here on my YouTube page. Hope you're having fun. It's something that I needed to do anyway to see what I have, so I hope you guys like this video and get a kick out of all these parts I have accumulated through the 30 plus years in the hobby. These are every coil you can think of, NOS, Repro, all for the Gottlieb games. Some are even hot. I took them out of a game. I think my Mibs had hot coils in it when I bought it, and I don't ever have anything hot in my games, coils especially. I like all my games original and playing great from the factory. Here's some more coils, Williams coils, lots of coils. If anybody needs an odd coil or in the pinch, give me a shout. So we're almost to the end. We got 4 more boxes to go, and I have 9 minutes, so I'm just trying to work this new camera and figure out how to make my videos really great. Now this thing is so heavy I can't pull it out because these are used balls, Bally balls, and Williams. You know, they're just pinball for the games. I'll show you what I mean. Here they are. There's tons of them in here. I can't even lift this thing, but I'm going to move it over anyway because I want to get the boxes a little closer. I wanted to organize this anyway. So the last three here are more balls and locks. This here we can show you. These are balls. And here's a whole bunch of locks I bought. The same key. I'm sorry about that. I'm on a chair and this stuff is sliding down. I want to give you a view of this little baggie here full of brand new key-to-like locks. More locks back here. I had a lot of games with the original locks from Chicago factories, manufacturers, so I don't know how many I have left, but they're really cool when you get a low-played game and you get the original keys, and they were never tampered with the front doors or the games. So I'm going to have to move a little bit over again. Forgive me if I shake the camera a bit, but last thing I want to do is fall. So here we go. Last two boxes, 7 minutes left on them. Then what we have here are just new leg levelers. Yeah, I keep 3-inch on hand, constantly putting leg levelers on. 3-inch and 2-inch leg levelers. You can buff up with mothers. You can actually make these nice and shiny right around here on the foot with my fingers going around. You can use mother's car polish, chrome polish, and let me tell you something, they come out phenomenal. Look like a mirror when you put the game on your floor. So here I have some Gottlieb flipper parts, really important box here. When you rebuild flippers, we'll take it down because of that, since it's the last box. And as you can see here in the beautiful lighting I have, the camera's so crisp and clear now. I have these flipper links that Steve Young, actually I'll get rid of that dried out. And you can make your own flipper lens for your games. I need it because I have a Showboat 1961 Gottlieb, but has 4 flippers, and the mechanism is the flipper assembly and the mechanism on it, and the flipper link are kind of unique. So this is the original type of board they use. In here are the different size flipper links. As you can tell, this hole here is how you can tell what year game it goes in. This is a flipper link assembly, bake-like piece with the metal plunger. And as you can see, these have the smaller holes. I'm going to show you guys that. That's a smaller hole than that one, so this one goes to a different year. So you have to have both sides flipper links. Of course, sleeves are important. And of course, we have the flipper switches that go on the reverse side of the playfield underneath. These are the flipper switches that get hit with the metal rod on the 60s games like Bankable, mid-60s, and so on. Here's some later flipper links that they changed the whole design. These are for the 70s games. These are for the 60s games, 70s games. These are 60s games right here. So also in here are the flipper. I have all different types. These might be Williams, they're Bally, and here's Gottlieb here. These are the flipper bushings. I drill 3 extra holes, and I can show you that with a black magic marker. For those who really want to get their flippers perfect, you can always get another hole in the bushing without really harming it. You could put one over here, one here, and one there. You can see now that the 3 black marks give you 3 extra holes, which will be a total of 6 holes instead of 3 holes, and you really get your flipper to bounce back from its flipper return ring with the precise strength that you like on your games. I like my game flippers perfect, so you can do that. Back here are little contacts. You can actually solder these contacts on. Some special screws for the 60s games. Here's some other flipper switches back here. all types of end of stroke. And here's a flipper rod. This flipper rod here that you see, this assembly are for the 60s games. And they go on, I'll show you. There's a whole bunch of stuff, flippers, parts and switches in here. They go on these guys here again, we're going to put them together. So this switch right here, these switches right here work with that flipper rod on the 60s game. Gottlieb, 1960s, mid-60s, Bank of Ball, and Crosstown, Buckaroo, all them great animated games. So here you have it. We got 3 minutes left, and maybe we'll just scroll through the tools that you're going to need with all this parts. So over here, right corner, you have these are set level, and that's a little electronic level. Set box driver, and every driver is raised. Most fuses, juices of fuses. Fuse you can dream size for set boxes, master build and socket, drill bit, small caliber might need. That's socket sets, stuff that you many bit, some bit, but the speed might not need to. The nuts and stuff, legs. You have the bolts, wrenches, the gigs, so for the and so on. Soldering for the leg, 4 other iron. On here's my iron. I have the Dremel solder, Dremel cleans. Here's a little you use kit for all the trim, the switch, all kind of stuff here, and all pinball here too. Lines us net up some have all because we're parts and going down. We're going to open 2-minute mark. That all bulbs you can count to the all lights in one bin. Organ all is handy for the size of pinball. Iterations, repairs, use, first types of wire and repairs, socket set, wire, all clips, washers, nuts, washer, on files. Type of file, nuts in there, flex the whole box, all files are cool stuff that one's got on hand. To them, the real screws have some all hardware and pinball and C clips, springs, all spring stuff, clips, some electronic comments for the play blats and countdown. Here's all part stuff. Boy, hope I'm not boring yet, but as an artist said. Why we here's a minute left. We can hear all the old Cadillac, and I used to drive. Still have pictures of my look at Cadillacs of the years that I've owned. It's kind of like fruit to throw in. I keep them right here. All my parts neat, see them, and here down here, so I have just some pictures. The cabinets on here. We have pictures when I painted the target pull. It's gone. I saw that target pull. I have the one. Here's the pull. Confess sold a coin addict. An original. Picture of the basins of bingos and body down here. My old one, very young basement. Everybody. So we're closing up here. The 57 seconds left. Up. This is Tim's place before I had the Las Vegas place. This is where his home was. Had Vegas machines up. Have pinball in the home and hundreds. Here's a basement picture of mine when I really all the base was down there instead of wedge heads. Had so really bingo stuff. Have all 34 seconds left and cool. So, mounting toolboxes, little knick-knack stuff to make circles, filled with colors and fin. And this wall here is stuff, a whole bunch of stuff I have up. This just a pinball. This is really nice about near that baseball pitch and bat. And here came my Earth King from Ball. Beautiful. Here's my name. It's in New Jersey area. Bill, seconds left. I will say thank you for watching this video. H1 and happy New Year to all. Have a happy New Year.